Today we'll be starting with the third unit, that is Java inheritance. As you all knowing what actually meant by an inheritance concept, when we were learning the concepts of OOPS, inheritance is nothing but called as what accessing the properties of one class to the another class. We can call that one as inheritance. Inheritance means accessing the properties or acquiring or inheriting the properties of one class to the another class. We can call that one as an inheritance concept. And inheritance will be divided in a form of 5 different types, already have been studied. That is single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hybrid inheritance, as well as hierarchical inheritance. One here in Java, there is a complication, or we can't execute multiple inheritance because the subclass or the inheriting class could not access the two different types of classes. So for that sake, multiple inheritance is not approachable within the Java. Instead of going with multiple inheritance, that particular concept can be executed or can be utilized or can be defined by using interface, what you're going to learn in next coming days. So I'm just briefing what actually meant by the inheritance here. And single inheritance means a class which is going to access the properties of upper class. Multi-level inheritance means there will be 3 tiers, one grandfather, father and a son. Son inherits the properties of father and father will be inheriting the properties of what? Grandfather. So there is an multi-level. Multi-level means son is going to inherit the properties of father, where he is going to indirectly inherit the properties of grandfather also. So this is called as what? A multi-level inheritance. Hierarchical means it is a tree structure. A particular class, one will be inherited by different set of subclasses. Subclasses means inheriting classes. Class A is there. Class E is going to be inherited by B, C, D, E, like that. Whatever, how many classes you want to inherit, you can inherit. Means B is going to inherit the properties of A. C is also going to inherit the properties of B. Inheriting is nothing but called as a concept where you are going to establish a connection in between two different classes. At one most level, we can call that one as inheritance classes. So, this is all about your inheritance briefing. Today we are going to discuss what actually meant by a Java inheritance, what do you mean by the subclass, and what do you mean by superclass, and how actually the subclass and superclass can be created, and how those informations can be utilized or used by your different statements within the program. We shall see. In Java, it is possible to inherit attributes and methods from one class to the another class. This is nothing but called as inheritance concept. Means what is going to say? You can inherit the properties, that is nothing but called as attributes, nothing but called as variables or methods from one class to the another class. We can call them as an inheritance. An inheritance concept is categorized into two categories, two parts. One is called a subclass, another one is called a superclass. A subclass, the class that inherits from another class. Subclass is nothing but called as, for example, you think A and B. A is a superclass and B will be the subclass, where B is going to inherit the properties of A. That is nothing but B becomes the subclass, whereas A becomes the superclass. Superclass means the class being inherited from, to inherit from a class, use the extended keyword. The class being inherited from means A is a superclass or a parent class, B is a child class or a subclass. That B is going to inherit the properties of class A. We can call that one as what? Superclass. Inherited from. Inherited from means it is going to be inherited from the B is going to inherit the properties of A, or A will be inherited by B, we can call. So we are going to have a simple example here, that is, in example, the car is a subclass which is going to inherit the properties of method, attributes and methods from the vehicle. vehicle class, that is superclass. You just see here what you're going to have here. You're going to have a vehicle is called as a superclass. You're going to have here, just you can see superclass is a vehicle and subclass is car. This car is going to inherit the properties of vehicle. This car is going to inherit the properties of vehicle. So for that sake you are going to use a keyword called as extends. Extends means access or inherits. We can't write access or inherits because Java is providing with its own keywords. So for that sake we are going to extend. Extend means accessing the information of vehicle into its own class. We can call that one as what? Inheriting concept. So what you can understand from this particular thing here, vehicle protected string brand is equals to fold. You are used protected means where actually this class is accessed, for those particular informations you can use protected, otherwise this brand is not going to be used, or a forward value is not going to be used anywhere else. Means particularly vehicle where it is extended, there only you can use the protected values. Next you are using the values called as methods. Public void honk. Honk is a method name when in which you are going to write tuk means horn you are going to have here. So forward horn is nothing but called as the value it is going to be displayed. So next here vehicle is accessed. Vehicle itself will be coming means you are going to use with what? The variable called as brand as well as a method called as honk within the what? This class. So car becomes the subclass and vehicle becomes the superclass, and car itself will be having its own data members called as private string model name is equals to Mustang. Mustang. Mustang is a model name and a brand name is Ford. So at that position, car has been created what? An object here. Car is creating an object. My car is equal to new car. Means what it is means? It is going to say that access the properties of or access the values of car from car to my car. Then my car dot honk. Whether honk is present anywhere within this particular car? No. When you are going to call my car dot honk means it goes to the car extends here, and then it will be accessing the function or a method of vehicle, not your car. So what you can understand from this now? My car is object of car which is going to access the vehicle information, which is a superclass of your class her. So honk is going to be called back here because honk is defined with the public, not protected. If you are going to write any private or protected means it is not going to be accessible. That time you will be having the informations like this way. Then what it is going to display now? It is going to display tuk tuk. It is going to display for you. Then at lastly you are going to have another one statement here. What is that statement? You will be having system dot 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 println of the bracket my car dot brand. My car dot brand is what? Brand you are written here. Yes, you have written a brand. My car system dot 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 println my car dot brand. My car is object of what? Car, and brand is a variable of vehicle, so it is protected. But when you are extending, that value can be accessed through the my car. So my car brand, it is going to display with fold space my car dot model name. My car is an object of car and access is the model name, that is Mustang. So fold Mustang it is going to display for you. So from this example you can understand that a class car is created with the object, and object my car is going to access the attributes and methods of a superclass. So we can call this one as what? A sub and a superclass. Another one thing, visibility mode or access modifiers are very important here. What type of access modifiers you are going to use, whether you are using public, private, protected or anything else. Okay, Public means can be accessed, private means within a class, protected means where it is extended or where it is inherited, there only the members or attributes or methods can be used, otherwise no. You please be aware of these all the things within your mind, because if visibility modes if you are going to understand, then only you can make sure with the accessing part of your program. So I think that you have understood what actually meant by the subclass as well as superclass from this particular example. So I'll be moving to the next statement, an abstract classes and methods, which is also a very important part of your Java, where abstract means hiding. It is going to hide the information. Data abstraction is a process of hiding certain details and showing only essential information to the user. Data abstraction already are seen. Data abstraction means what? Which are usual or essential informations will be there. Those essential informations will be only shown to the user. Unnecessary or unusual things will be hidden from the compiler or hidden from the user at the time of at the time of running the program. Abstracts can be achieved with either using abstract classes or interfaces. There are two different types. The abstract keyword is non-specific non-access modifier used for classes and methods. Abstract class is one type of class statement, and abstract method is used for abstract methods are used for method purpose. So you're going to have some example here. We shall see with the definition, then we can go for examples. So abstract class is restricted class that cannot be used to create objects. So you are going to have a problem here, because I already said that if any class is there, if that class members will be there or methods will be there, at that position if you wanted to access the members and methods outside of the class, at that time you should have to create objects. Is it right or not? Then only you can access that methods or attributes from the class. Here, once if you have made a class to be abstract, then we can't create any objects for the classes. That is a problem, because sometimes what it is going to happen, for a particular classes we don't need to create any objects. Something should be hidden. No, I have said that abstraction means hiding the usual things and showing only the essential things to the users. At that time abstract classes could be used. It is there, but we can't create the objects of the abstract classes. What you cannot do, we can't create the objects of the classes. So we can use with what? An abstract class. Restriction is going to be there. Restriction means it is a restricted class that cannot be used to create objects. Means to access it, it must be inherited from the another class. Already you are knowing the concept of inheriting part, but here there is no direct creation of objects to the abstract class. We are going to have an example. We shall see with that one. Abstract method can only be used in an abstract class, and it does not have a body. Means only you are going to define it. It is not going to do anything within a class. That is called as abstract method. Okay. An example has been given here. That is abstract class animal. This class is not going to be created with what? Any object. Then you're going to have a method called as public abstract void animal sound, which is not having any body. And you're going to have a regular normal method, that is public void sleep. Within that one you have written z. Means some information you have been written. You can write with anything else. Then you're going to have a class called as the pig, extends the animal. Animal could not be created with the object. Pig is accessing the information from animal. So public void animal sound where you are going to have, this is a normal function which is not defined with any abstract. If you are writing abstract means there should not be any body should not be there, or you can say it is not going to have information within itself. But here you have written with only public void animal sound. So what it is going to do now, it is going to display with the pig says wake wake. So some example. Then there are two classes you are going to have. One is animal superclass and pig is another subclass. So class, my main class, public static void main of a string args, you are created with an object called as pig. My pig is equal to new pig. This is a normal constructor you are using, or you are creating an object for default constructor for the class pig. My pig dot animal sound. So you just see here, my pig dot animal sound means this my pig will go to pig, and whether you are going to have animal sound, yes, it is going to display for you week week. Then my pig dot sleep, whether you are going to have any function called as sleep here, no, means it is going to be extended to the animal is going, you are going to have a sleep here. So you are going to define that one. So you are not used an animal sound which is overriding. Overriding already you are learned, you are going to learn in the next concept. Overriding is used in your main superclass as well as subclass, where this function is going to be said as do nothing function, and this function is going to be executed. So you have been overridden this superclass function with the subclass function called as pig. So whether you have created any object for the animal here, no, but you have been accessed the regular functions of the animal in the subclass. So this is called as abstract class and abstract method. So what you can understand from this particular statement here is abstract means hiding the unnecessary things which are not at all used to execute at the time of execution of the program. Then defining the usual things to the user at the time of creation of objects, proceeding with the next statement, that all the things we can call them as data abstraction. Abstraction can be achieved by defining with abstract class as well as abstract methods. Is it right? So abstract class is nothing but called as where if a class is declared or used with abstract keyword, then that class is not going to have with any objects. That class doesn't have any objects. We can call that one as a abstract class. A method will be defined within abstract class itself. We can't define that one anywhere within the normal classes, and that method is also called as do nothing method. Do nothing method, just you are defining that one which is not going to have any executable body within itself. We can call that one as what? Do nothing function or do nothing methods we can call them as. So this is what you are going to call them as what? An abstract method as well as abstract class. Is it right? Is it right or not? So this is what about the abstract method as well as abstract class. So rest other things we will discuss in tomorrow's class. Thank you very much.